So, what if building software wasn't really about writing lines of code? What if it was just about communicating an idea with perfect, crystal clarity? Today, we're going to look at a pretty radical new philosophy that's trying to do exactly that, turning pure human intent directly into digital reality. Let's see how they're pulling it off.
All right, here's our game plan. First, we're going to unpack the big idea, this powerful philosophy that's really challenging how things have been done for decades. Then we'll dive right into the AI operating system they built to make it all real. We'll actually see it in action, building its own website. Then we'll step back to understand the huge paradigm shift this represents. And finally, we'll look ahead to see how this whole vision can scale into the future.
So, what is this new way of thinking? Well, it all starts by rejecting something we've all taken for granted, that endless loop of building something, tweaking it, fixing it, and tweaking it again. The argument here is that there's a much more direct path from an idea to a finished creation.
In this sentence, this is the key to everything. It's a really bold statement from the system's founder, and it just completely reframes what a creator's job is. See, the goal isn't to manually hammer a product into shape through endless iteration. The goal is to communicate your vision so precisely that an AI system can just execute it for you.
This slide just lays it out perfectly, doesn't it? On the left, you've got the typical builder kind of stuck in that loop of endless tweaks. But on the right, you have the conductor. They aren't in the weeds writing code. They are communicating the vision. They're orchestrating a team of AI agents to do the work. It's a huge shift from doing manual labor to directing an intelligent system.
And that's the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, it's one thing to have a cool philosophy, but it's something else entirely to actually build the machinery that makes it happen. How do you really turn words, an intent, and a vision into functioning software?
Well, this is the answer from Ace Digital Global, the ADGOS. And you got to understand, they didn't just build another tool. They built an entire AI operating system. It's designed from the ground up for one purpose, to translate structured communication into software. This is the architecture that makes that whole conductor philosophy possible.
So the core principle behind it all is called communication-driven development. And here's the key part. Instead of a developer sitting there manually typing out code, a human operator defines the goal in a special document called a build order. Then, AI agents take that order and build the software, all while being supervised by a human. It's a whole new way of working.
And this slide, wow, it just brilliantly lays out the whole system. Think of it like a super efficient, completely automated company. The human operator, that's the CEO, setting the vision. An orchestrator agent is like the project manager, keeping everything on track. The builder agents are your engineers actually writing the code. You've got a governor agent for compliance, making sure all the rules are followed, and a logger that tracks every single action for a perfect audit trail. It's like a tiny digital civilization, all designed for building things responsibly.
Okay, so that's the theory. But how does this actually work in the real world? The best way to get it is to see how ADG used its own operating system to build its own front door, its corporate website. And this isn't some polished demo. This is the system proving it can do the job. And this right here, this is it, a real build order. It's not code, it's just communication. It defines the company's identity, the visual style, and the priority. And look at that last part, functional output first. The instruction is clear. Just get a working version up. Don't worry about perfection yet. This is the exact intent that the AI agents received.
And the system didn't just build this site in one shot. Nope. It deployed it in 5 very controlled, deliberate versions. Version 1 was just the basic structure, the scaffold. V2 added elements for credibility. V3 was all about defining the company's unique identity. V4 started adding things like calls to action, and V5 really locked in its positioning as an enterprise company. Each step was just a new build order, a new layer of communicated intent.
The final result, version 5, is a live enterprise-grade website. But what's really cool is that it's more than just a website. It's a living artifact. It doesn't just talk about the company, it actually has a section explaining the very process used to build it. The website itself has become the ultimate proof of concept. It's proof that the system is real and it actually works. So when you see this whole process in action, it kind of makes you step back and rethink what's actually being built here. Yeah, the website is the first product off the line, but the real creation is the factory that built it.
And let's just be absolutely 100% clear on this because it's super important. This is not another drag and drop, no-code website builder.
Those tools are great, but they still need you to manually assemble everything and make a million little decisions. They're just a simpler way to iterate. This is something else entirely.
This quote from the founder, it kind of twists your brain a little, but it really nails the point. A no-code, no-code builder. What on earth does that mean? Well, it means they didn't just build another tool for humans to avoid writing code. They built a system that uses AI to construct the builders themselves, all based on human communication.
Let's put it more simply. It's a factory. A traditional no-code tool is like a machine on the factory floor that you have to operate by hand. The ADGOS is the entire automated assembly line. You just give it the blueprints.
Okay, so if the OS is a factory, how does it produce more than one thing? How does it go from building a website to, say, building a mobile app or a complex simulation? The answer is in this brilliantly simple and scalable concept.
It's called a workspace. Just think of it as a clean, totally isolated production line inside that bigger factory. Every new product gets its own workspace. It's got its own build orders, its own files, its own complete history. The core OS, the orchestrator, the governor, the logger, it doesn't change. It just starts servicing a new production line.
And this is where the potential just becomes mind-boggling. The website was one workspace. A real-time communication app? That's another. A dashboard for AI agents? Another. You could even have a workspace that takes an old zipped-up application and modernizes it. Or, as you can see here, something as incredibly complex as a game engine.
And a quote like this just shows you the sheer ambition and the capability we're talking about. A build order for a game isn't just, hey, make a game. It's a deep communication of architectural intent. Build a physics-first simulation ecosystem. The system can handle this level of complexity because it's not built on surface-level features. It's built on communicating core principles. So this brings us to the ultimate shift, the total inversion of how we create things. We're moving away from a world where creators build products directly. We are now entering an era where creators build systems, and those systems, in turn, build the products. And that leaves us with a final, really provocative thought. For centuries, our ability to create things has been limited by the friction of actually having to build them by hand. But what happens if that friction just disappears? If the main tool for creation is simply clear communication, what becomes possible then? What would you build?